listening to Joe Holmes. Making Waves.
Hello and welcome to the third episode of Making Waves with me, Joe Holmes. Today I'm joined by another music superstar that has made waves with their music. I'm joined by Nicki Shakes, a country singer from Essex. And her single, Long Way to Go, had an impact on me. It made waves on me. I remember I was walking along and it came on, she'd posted that she'd released a single, and it even made me cry. It made me think about where I am now and where I'm going, and sort of the personal growth that we all undergo. So Nicki, could you tell us a bit more about that song, please?
It's like you said, like the personal growth of where you need to go. For me, it's a very personal song. I mean, I don't mind saying like I deal with depression, and you get to that point where when you're on the ultimate low, just something inside me just clicked to realise that actually, I've still got a long way to go in my life. I've still got a long way with the I don't like to say the struggle of depression. I like to say the battle, or you're living with it every day, but you still manage to like carry on. So yeah, that was just for me. I just wanted people to know that, and also that they're not alone. Like, a lot of people struggle on their own. They don't talk to their friends, their family. There's always somebody out there who's going through what you're going through. I'm really glad that the song touched you, and that's literally just what I wanted to do with it, just touch people's lives and make them realise that they're not alone. Like everyone, there are people out there who are struggling, but are they willing to help them?
And is music a way you process that depression? Do you find that your sort of struggles go into your music? Is that a way that helps you?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, when I was probably about 17 or 18, I had my first major heartbreak. Feels like a lifetime ago now. And the way I got over it was I wrote a song. I wrote a song about it. And that was probably for me the very first time that I wrote a real song with real feelings. Yeah, it's just always if I feel happy, if I feel down, even if I'm bored, I will just sit and I'll sit at the piano, or I'll sit with my guitar, and I'll just go through some chord progressions, write some lyrics. It's just always there, music for me.
It's a great outlet, and we've all written our breakup songs. We've all had to go through that. Do you remember what that first breakup song was called?
It's called Always. I think it's on my YouTube channel.
Is it really? Now everyone, head over to Nicki's YouTube channel and hear her very first song. But obviously, as we write more and more songs, we grow and we get better at our craft. And do you think that your latest album that's going to be out soon, Rise, do you feel like you've improved a lot since you started?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think the album Rise I found my sound. I struggled for a long time to find my sound, or trying to fit in to that sort of, do I fit in this category or this category? And when I wrote the album, I literally was just like, I'm just going to write these songs and see where I go. And I worked with an amazing producer called James Arter, and we worked on my EP together. So he kind of knew the direction that I wanted to go as well. We knew each other, and I just found my sound, and I just fitted in country music. I like to tell stories. I like to show emotion. But yeah, 100% got better. I've definitely gotten better with it.
Yeah, and I love the sound of the album. I think the way it blends sort of country, but you can tell it's got your pop influences as well, and it's come from a lot of different places. And do you feel, because country is a genre now, that pop's become more dance and more R&B and more rap, do you think country will regain its places in pop music?
Yeah, I do. I hope it does. I mean, it's definitely becoming more mainstream. I mean, you've got like the Shires, who they get played on mainstream radio. Keith Urban has got a new song out with Pink. They're played on Heart all the time. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to come back to being mainstream again. As you said, pop music's gone very dancey, but I think if more country artists push through that barrier of sort of crossing over almost, it will definitely come back.
And with the pandemic as well, I've found that more people are writing sort of ballads and slower songs that you can play in the house, because although sort of the upbeat music's had its place in the clubs and the pubs, now that people are, say, cooking, they want something they can cook to and relax to. And I don't know what you've been doing over lockdown, but have you had the chance to write songs? Have you been too depressed to, or have you found a good creative outlet there?
No, yeah, I've written a few songs through probably out of boredom more, like sort of. But I'm always like, I always get, it always comes at the wrong time as well. I get inspiration, or I just get like a hook or a lyric will go through my head. But yeah, I've written a few. What genre they're going to be at the moment, I don't know. They're still in the early stages. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like a lot of people, they're kind of more the mellow songs, sort of that you can just chill to, have definitely come out.
Great.
Maybe I'll do an album of chilled songs next.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. And so you said that inspiration comes at all these different times. What's the worst time inspiration for a song was struck? Has there been like an awkward moment where you've had to run away and write? Probably,
it's more like late at night that it comes. That's always the worst, when I'm trying to go to sleep, and I get up early. But yeah, whenever I'm trying to sleep, it always comes. Or sometimes if I'm at work and I could be on the phone or something, and I'm just like, oh no, I need to listen to this phone call, but I still want to write this lyric down. I'd say they're the worst two. That's the worst two times.
Yeah, and with the album, what was the first song you wrote for the album, and how did it start?
The first song I actually wrote was probably Bruised, without realising initially that it was going to be an album's track, and also a single, so it was my second single.
Rose petals scattered on the floor, damp from champagne. I can't take it anymore. Shards of glass sparkling in the light. I don't know what to say. I've lost my fight. You said you'd never hurt me, that I was a fool. I believed you, and I've been hurt, I've been bruised. I was blinded by you. I gave my all, but you let me fall. Was I not enough? Was it all my fault? Was it I who pushed you too far? My insecurities, did they take over? I know I'm not perfect, but neither are you. I guess we're stuck in this mess, and I don't know what to do. You said you'd never hurt me, but I was a fool. I believed you, and I've been hurt, I've been bruised. I was blinded by you. I gave my all, but you let me fall. Was I not enough? Was it all my fault? I've been hurt, I've been bruised. I was blinded by you. I gave my all, but you let me fall. Was I not enough? Was it all my fault? Yeah, I've been hurt, I've been bruised. I was blinded by you.
the song that kicked it all off. And I had an A&R meeting with a development company, and they just tore everything apart that I was doing already, and like on my own and that. But it's something that I needed to hear to sort of inspire me to keep going and just better myself.
Yeah. And as an artist, I mean, we all have that struggle to like get to the place that we want to be and sort of reach the people we want to do, and sometimes that can be heartbreaking. And you said about the feedback from the A&Rs. I mean, did you take that to heart at first?
A little bit, but not as much as I thought I would. I think I'd been sort of through rejection from like producers and our companies before I got to this guy, so I sort of had toughened up a bit. But yeah, I mean, any rejection is not nice to experience, but I think it sort of gave me the mentality of actually I'm going to prove you wrong, that I can do this and I am ready to do it.
And you are proving people wrong. I mean, I'm looking at your Instagram and you're getting your songs played on radio now, and that's just a massive success. And although it's like small scale local radio to start with, it's great, isn't it? The feeling. I've seen that you've had parties when you've been on the radio. What was that like to have all your family and friends listening?
Yeah, that was cool. That was really cool, actually. My friends obviously knew that it was going to be played on BBC Introducing, and my friends were like, "Oh, just come over and we'll listen. We'll have a few drinks." And they literally went all out, like balloons. They'd done a little buffet, so it was quite nice. And just to see, like, my parents were there as well, and to see how proud they were, it was a nice feeling, and just feel like you're like all of this support that you don't actually realise that you have until it's all in one room together. It was really nice to all come together and listen to it. That
sounds like such a heart-wrenching moment, though, because all sometimes you want is the support of other people, especially when you like write songs on your own in a room. And do you ever go through like times where you think there's no support there?
Yeah, sometimes. I mean, it can vary. I think that's just the way of creative people. I think we tend to overthink things as well. But I know, like, it has taken me a long time to realise that I do have the support there.
Yeah, and I think having like everyone in the room must tell you, and it's a good thing to like keep a mental note of whenever you feel like there's no one there for you, or if you ever feel down about it, you can just remember that time when everyone was there listening to your song on the radio, which is such an impressive moment. Do your family and friends have a favourite song from the album?
My mum's favourite is Pedestal.
Yeah.
And a few friends, theirs is either Bruised, Band of Gypsies, or I think I Need a Drink. They kind of seem to be the favourite ones.
and with Band of Gypsies, I think that was a single you released a few months ago now. That's such a happy and uplifting song, and I remember I was listening to it on holiday in France, and it just, because obviously I was on holiday, I was going like touring around camping, and it was like, well, I was with the family and we were a band of gypsies. It was just such a joyous moment. Where did that song come from?
It all started with a clothing label
Wow.
called Band of Gypsies, and I thought, oh, that's a really cool name. That'd be a really cool title. So I just had that as like, I know that I want Band of Gypsies in, and then I kind of just drew inspiration from my friends and my family and thought that maybe they're my Band of Gypsies. Like anywhere that they are, I am, and I'm happy, and I don't really need anything else or like anything materialistic. So I just started writing, and then I got the hook for it, and that was it. I was just off.
That's amazing. Well, you need to send the song to the Band of Gypsies clothing label, and that should be their advert track. It should be you singing Band of Gypsies. Yeah. We need to tag them on your post.
Driving down dusty roads, no destination, nowhere to go. Bags packed in the trunk, tank full of gas, but we keep driving on. Watching as the sun sets on the horizon, running into the dark, rises in the morning, riding down the freeway into the day. As long as I've got you beside me, I don't need money, I don't need a home. We'll keep on running without men or gypsies, living to be free souls. Oh, 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 as long as I've got you beside me, no, I don't need money, I don't need a home. We'll keep on running without band of gypsies, living to be free souls. As long as I've got you beside me, I don't need money, I don't need a home. We'll keep on running without band of gypsies, living to be free souls. Oh, 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 oh,
Do you have a favourite song from the album, or one that means more to you than the others?
Obviously, Long Way to Go means a lot to me. Pedestal, that's a favourite.
What did you write Pedestal about? It's your mum's favourite. What does it mean to you?
It's about a friend of mine that, well, we used to be like really tight, we was really close friends, and sort of just as time went on, we just grew apart, we just drifted apart. We very rarely speak now, but that was kind of, I guess that was my way of healing, of getting over the fact that this friendship was over. Yeah, so it's just one of my favourite songs, and it wasn't till, there's a funny story, because it wasn't till after I'd written it that I realised it sounds like Lady Gaga, Brown Eyes.
Oh wow. Yeah, and is Lady Gaga someone you look up to? Obviously, I'm a big Lady Gaga fan, and I can see by your Spotify playlist that you are too. I mean, obviously you've probably been writing country music for a long time, so when she released an album like Joanne, was that a big like fist pump moment for you?
Yeah, I think after Born This Way, where she had a lot of like the heavy guitars in, and that we kind of were like, oh, she needs to do an album where it's more natural instruments that she does. And then she released Joanne. I was like, yes, like I love that album. I think it's such a brilliant album, and it's so different from anything else that she's ever done. And yeah, that's how I love her, just like natural.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of my favourite albums of all time. And, you know, with your album, Rise, how are you planning on releasing it? Have you got a release date scheduled, or are you putting it off at the moment?
I don't have a release date scheduled as of yet. Unfortunately, with the pandemic, it's kind of blown everything out of proportion and everything. I can't, because obviously there's no live music, and if there is, it's very limited. So the idea was to do a full launch and have like a live night somewhere. However, I'm in talks with a few band members, and we are thinking of just streaming a live session with the album just online, because I think that's the way everyone's going. So hopefully early next year, in January, I'm going to release it and give us time to practice.
Yeah, it is. And obviously, yeah, we're all out of practice, and you must miss like performing to an audience. How have you been taking that? It's
very, very strange. Like, I've done a few live performances where it's had to be pre-recorded. It's the weirdest. Like, obviously, the only good thing about it is you can do a few takes of it to get that perfect sound, but there's nothing like when you're performing live, and especially if my friends are there, they all know the lyrics and they all sing along, but just to see that people enjoy your music and they really they genuinely like it. You can see their real reaction. It's so different, and I do miss it a lot.
But in the same way, as you said, you've got creative and you've done like performances from your bathroom even and used the acoustics in there. Where did you get the idea for that? That was it's great content.
It's a conversation that my friends and I always have whenever because my friends are singers too, but we always say, why is it that when you go in a bathroom, it's got like the best acoustics naturally?
Singing in the shower.
Just singing in the shower, yeah. And that just, so I was like, oh, maybe I'll just do a few songs in here. Just, me and an acoustic guitar, done.
Yeah, and maybe that's how it's going to be from now on. It's going to be the album launch from your bathroom. You've got to make do now, haven't we?
We have. I'm sure we could get like 2 other people in there, maybe socially.
Yeah.
One in the shower, one on the toilet.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
And you said you work with your producer on this album as well. Is it a very small group of people you work with?
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just the 2 of us that worked on this album. Because I write. I'm constantly writing. I do lyrics, melody, and he does all the magic behind it, like the guitar solos. He plays all of the instruments except for the drums, but he's absolutely phenomenal. Like he's just so comfortable to work with him. So yeah, I definitely will work with him again.
Amazing, and it's good you've found someone you've got that sort of comfortable connection with. So when you start writing the songs, where does the process start? Does it start with the lyrics, the melodies, or does it change every time?
It changes every time. I mean, sometimes it could be, with Rise, I wrote the lyrics first, but I knew the melody that I wanted, and then had to find the chord structure around that. And then I've got ones like Pedestal, which the instruments came first. I knew how I wanted it to sound. The chord progression just came to me straight away, and then sort of like the melody, then the lyrics. So yeah, it varies with each song. I guess it depends how I'm feeling, what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm really inspired, I will just write the whole song in one go. Literally, I'll just be like, yep, done. And then I'll go back and change like the lyrics and the phrasing to fit perfectly. But yeah, it just depends.
It's an evolving process. And I can't wait for more people to hear your album. It's gonna be great. And if you were to go back and you were to give a message, if you could send the album to your younger self with a little message, so you parcel up your album, you send it back to your younger self, and you can send a little note with it, what would you put on the note?
Probably keep going. Like, this is what you can achieve, and you'll definitely achieve more. I think that would be, don't give up. I think the thing that every artist says and every artist should do is just never give up, because if you're a creative person, it's always going to be there. You can't switch it off. So yeah, that's what I'd say. Keep going.
And to our listeners who might be artists too that sometimes feel like giving up, what sort of message do you have for them?
I would say, especially along the lines of with rejection, people not liking your stuff, it's out of the millions and billions of people in the world, that's one person's opinion. Who, depending who you send it to, it's a very small percentage than the population. Majority of the time, if it's a music executive and that, they've got numbers and figures that they've got to look at. They're not looking at the art and the creativeness majority of the time. So I'd say, just do you. Don't try and fit the mould, and just keep going. Just if it makes you happy, keep going, keep doing it.
100%, and I think we should all get that printed on t-shirts. Nicki, you've been amazing today. I've loved talking to you, and thank you so much for joining me on this podcast. Is there anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to say thank you very much for your support, Joe. You've always been supportive of me, and thanks for having me.
You're so welcome, and thank you for sharing your music with us. I really appreciate it, and thank you for keep going and to keep writing songs. And I hope you stick with it, because I can't wait to hear more music from you in the future. Thank you so much. I am Joe Holmes. I'm an 18-year-old songwriter, author, and music enthusiast. I'd like to thank my friend Liv from Bear and Born Studios for designing the cover of this podcast. Stay tuned for more exciting guests that are making waves in the music industry with exclusive performances and interviews. Have a wonderful week, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
You are listening to Joe Holmes.
Making waves.